What's up, man?
What's up, dude?
We're back.
The pod's back.
Apologies. We took like a week off. Schedules didn't line up.
What happened? Oh, no. You had a week off. What happened? Oh, I was gone.
You were gone.
I was
don't
gone,
put this
and
on
then
me.
you were gone. Yeah, I was out of town doing turnarounds.
Yeah, you're doing turnarounds. How was that?
It was good. Next week, the first one will come out. And then, like, we're taking our time on it. Zach and Steve are gone for the next week. So it's delayed a little bit, but it's going to be super good. I saw what they were working on today. They just, like, put it together. It's fire.
Nice, dude. Yeah, I want to talk about those, obviously, when the video is released, so that way people have more context. But you went to a couple of Augusta locations and helped those owners turn around their business.
Yeah,
so give me one word. Well, for that.
Like one word or sentence?
One word.
Encapsulate it?
One word to encapsulate those turnarounds.
One word.
Or one word for each. How about that?
Oh man, like you want one word.
One word.
Not like a sentence.
No.
Sick. Because like if I could say a sentence,
it's a good thought exercise.
Oh, you know what? Okay, here we go. I'm gonna say first one, but it's gonna be the first one that comes out because it's not actually the sequence in which I went.
Yeah, that's fine.
So the first one that comes out, I would say coaching.
Okay.
The second one that came out, no, actually take that back. First one that comes out is leadership.
Okay.
And the second one that comes out would be coaching.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And that is the first one, like leadership is required to grow your business past a certain level, and that's going to be the skill they have to learn.
Mm-hmm.
And they learned the first part, sales, very, very well. Now they got to switch gears, and like this is a different skill set. The second person, if they would have had coaching, most of their problems would not have happened. And even today, I was looking at another franchisee, and they hadn't had a franchise call or a coaching call since February. And I was like, it's kind of why there's problems that are very easily fixed.
Yeah.
And so, anyways, yeah. So leadership, coaching.
Leadership coaching.
There you go.
I think those are great, though. So for the small business owners that are going to check out the main channel, those are good. The intangibles, as it were.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I had 2 coaching calls today with franchisees, and like, I say this like in a positive way. You will receive it positively, but they're boring.
Yeah.
Because it's a boring business.
Yeah.
Like, it follows the systems. They treat their employees right. They treat their customers right. And it's just like, yeah, we're just getting more profits. And like, yeah, what should I do here? What should I do here? It's like very basic stuff, which is great.
Yeah.
But yeah. Well, I have.
The problem is the people who need it the most don't reach out, and that's the problem.
Yeah.
So that's why, like, we've been trying to normalize on the group, like, reaching out when you need help, because the people who need it most aren't. And what people fail to realize is that it is a causation, right? Like, the reason that the calls that you have are boring is because they've had calls every single month for 3 years, and they've made sure they never got off track and they were put back on track before it ever became a big problem.
Yeah.
So it's a bad time to be thinking about your diet when you are dying of a heart attack. It's a bad time. And so
I like that analogy.
it's like, I shouldn't have had that cheeseburger for the past 4 years every day. Like, it's a bad time to think about that, dude.
Yeah.
So
it's interesting that you say that, because I'm getting a lot of clips of this guy, and I wasn't planning on going here, but we're just going to go unfiltered, and I'm going to put myself out there.
Okay.
Because you said at Augusta, we've been encouraging sharing the negative, share the burnout, share the frustrations. Like, don't feel like just because you're part of Augusta and it's this, from the outside looking in, picture perfect world of like great business owners, which they are great business owners, but it's not picture perfect. Yeah. And I've seen a lot of clips recently of Andy Elliott. Do you know who this is?
Yeah, dude, I know.
And they are getting progressively farther and farther.
I saw one the other day. It was like,
there.
If you don't get a 6-pack, you're fired. And then the other one was, you know why you're seeing that? It's because I shared a video with everyone that had him in it.
Oh. But I've seen him for years.
Oh, you have?
Yeah, because I've always watched like sales guys and that kind of content, and Hormozy, right? Bradley and
some
like
of his
other
stuff
guys.
is good, but dude, man, he is not rough around the edges, just like weird.
Dude, he literally said we don't have anyone on our team that doesn't have a 6-pack. Like, what if they have like a medical condition? Like, what is that? What's going on here, brother?
Man, it's so. He made the guy take his shirt off in front of everyone.
Yes, yeah, he's getting out there. But hey, it gets clicks, and we're talking about it. So if sales works, but I looked him up. Yeah, the Elliott Group. He had another one too, and this one where this is where it connects in my mind from Augusta. Hey, let's open up. Let's be more vulnerable, right? Let's
take off your shirt.
For let's be vulnerable in a positive way, not in a public shameful way.
Oh man!
But he had this clip that I saw that he was like, "I don't get burnt out. If you get burnt out, you're not doing right.
Yeah,
you're not doing it. You're not doing something right. It's your
yeah.
problem if you're burnt out. I've never been burnt out. I love what I do.
Yeah.
I'm like." Yeah, you know when people talk about like toxic masculinity, that's they picture you yelling at people about burnout, like in your extra medium t-shirt,
in his little suede shoes and like jacked out of his mind from roids.
Yeah, like I don't like whatever. Like, hey, if it motivates people, that's cool. Hey, if you're pushing,
somebody says it's good.
Yeah, I agree. We're picking the bad clips.
Yeah,
but just very aggressive, man.
Yeah.
Well. I haven't formally congratulated you.
Yeah.
So my formal congratulations. Because I was doing it every 10K, but you had 100K on your main channel. So congratulations.
Thank you. We're actually 110,000.
I know.
We got like 5,000 yesterday and a few thousand today. So we have a few videos popping off.
Already old news. Like you're just blowing up. That's awesome. It was 3:40 a.m.
Yeah, when it crossed and I took the screenshot of 100,000.
Yeah, so I saw that. So you said it was 3:40 a.m. You hit 100K, and then you had this nice like here's what made it happen 11 bullet points, if you will. Yeah. Was that pre-typed?
No, it wasn't.
Or is that in the moment?
No, so this is what happened. So I went to bed early that night, which is like if I go before 12, that's an early night. So went to bed early, woke up at like 2, and was like, okay, I'll do some work. So pull up my phone and like I knew you were close to it, so I don't ever check my analytics for that sort of thing. But like definitely the guys that night had been like, hey, I think we might pass it by tomorrow. Yeah. So I checked when then there was Friday night and then going into Saturday or whatever it was. And so sure enough, we were like within a couple hundred. So I'm like, oh man, like I could go back to bed, but there's a good chance when I wake up we're gonna be past it. Yeah. So I'm like, okay, great. I'll just work. So I just worked, and then at 3:40 took the screenshot, and after the screenshot I typed it all up, and then you saw probably like 4:40 when it went up. It was like right away. So like I did take probably 30 minutes to write it. Yeah. It wasn't short by any means. Like you did have to spend some time on it. So I guess what was the initial feeling? Like you saw the 100. It's the same as like everyone says. Like everyone like puts it up on this pedestal, and like oh, if I can only get that, and then you get in there, it's like okay, like that's cool. But like also when you're coming so close to it for so long, it's not like it's surprise, like it's just a number. So I just feel good. It's validation, I think, partly for the team. So like some of the stuff I wrote in there was specifically for the team, like the fact that like it took us 5 years to get to 10,000. And one more year we got to 20,000. One more year we went to 100,000. Like it is a very good chance within one more year we're at 500,000, and another year we're in 1 million. So I don't know how that works. Like in my mind, I'm like, that's no way. Like I have to do the math in my head. I'm like, that would mean we have to do like X amount of subscribers today. That means X amount of views. Like there's no way in the world we're doing that. So like that's how my head works. But I also thought the same way at like 20 and 30,000 when I'm like, dude, it just seems like so far away. And I'm getting, 20, 30 subs a day. Yeah. Wouldn't it be like 1,500 subscribers a day to get like 500,000 in a year? Something like that. My math off. Yeah. So that is like, but just to like conceive that seems like how. Yeah, I know. Even when you told me, like, just now, first time we've talked about this together, you were like, I was a few hundred away, so I thought maybe if I stay up. I'm like, so just a few hundred people in the middle of the night click subscribe? Like, well, yeah, like that's what I'm saying. It's like 3 hours ahead of us, though, too, so it's like that morning. Yeah, and but still. Yeah. Yeah, you can see it live. You can see the numbers going up and then down. Like, it's pretty cool. Yeah. So no major feeling, no... Like come to Jesus moment. No, definitely not. A light didn't beam I never thought we'd get there. Like honestly, it was just like, dude, we're gonna be forever. And it's funny, it's because we had recently the pop of a couple videos, but literally just a few weeks ago, I was like, man, I hope I get it to 100,000 by the time Quebec Expo comes. Like that'd be kind of cool. But yeah, sure enough, it just cut a couple videos that popped. One a short that is really on brand, and it's not like just a customer complaint. It's like really on brand with Augusta, and it has like over 12 million views or something like that. Yeah. So yeah, I feel like you kind of hit. I mean, you would know the graph better than I, obviously, but I feel like you were floating like mid 80s for a while. Like you really 80s, quickly escalated. Yeah. What happens is like, so when you do, if a short blows up and it's off brand, which means it's not in alignment with what you mostly do, what's going to happen is you're going to spike. And then as you post more videos, your subscriber count goes down because those people just leave. So when you get a post that that crushes and's on brand with all your long form videos, that's when we see really, really positive. So we did this kind of like switch when we went away from like customer complaints and things like that, that it took us a little bit of time to like get rid of a lot of those people who had joined for drama.
Yeah.
And then like recalibrate it on business a little bit more.
That makes sense.
So it was good. We just learned a lot. And like, I'm not like judging what we've done or what we're doing now. It's like, hey, like we know what like the end goal is, and like we can always adapt and change. Like right now we're like very much like shorts and long form. We're going to take our time on them. We're not going to worry about quantity. We're going to really make them good. Because like one good short that does 10 million is a whole lot better than like 10,000 views.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And then same thing with the long form. Like, you know, Marcus's last video is really well produced, I thought. And we take our time on it. And like these ones we're doing, these turnarounds, I'm also going to take my time on, because if they do well, we have some really cool plans. Yeah. And that is really to basically take what the Prophet was doing with CNBC and Marcus Lemonis and turn it into more of, that's what we do. We go back to the location and actually see what happens, like complete the loop of the story. Yep. Because like these ones that we did were just 2 days in and out. But it'd be really cool if we went back in 2 weeks and we went back in 2 months down the road, right? Yeah. And then made that one episode. It wasn't episodic. It was just like one. Really solid show.
It's one episode and then it's just fade to black 2 months later.
Yeah, just be like, exactly.
One video
showing up again. Yeah,
cool. I like that.
That's what the Prophet did. They would shoot over like 6 months. Even if we did it over 2 or 3 months, we'd be able to see like, did they listen to what I say, and then what was the result of it, and like get a little bit more closure to the story.
Yeah, and I think that was one of your frustrations creatively with Business Boot Camp. It's an awesome concept, but it's 4 weeks and it's Zoom calls.
Well, the challenging part with Business Boot Camp was we were reliant on them to produce video. And it was like so hit and miss. You're always asking them for content. They're not great at angles. It's very hard to create a linear story. And you're taking a whole bunch of random clips and then trying to piece them together, versus what we can do is go into a location, generally know what we want to do and say, and then just execute on like a production plan. And like we have questions we ask the employees, questions we ask the owners, and like we can build the story in like a way better way. Yeah. So I really hope they do well. So like people listening, like promote these bad boys. Yeah. Like, it is like, I will push them hard, because if we can make it work, like just from a view, attention, and like money standpoint, I'd really like to scale it to where we go back. But it's expensive. Yeah. It's expensive to fly out the team. Then I have to go back again. So we kind of think what we could do like logistically to make it work is like the media guys go there a day before me.
Get all the shots.
Yeah. And then I just come in for 1 day, do like the like this is what you need to do, and we kind of know already what that is based upon their pre-submission video. And then I come back and say a month, and same thing. The media guys would go the day before, they'd ask questions, the employees get B-roll, and then I just come in and like just execute it. So we'll see. Yeah. But it's expensive, man, to make one video and have like 2 flyouts and hotels and airfares. And so like it has to make sense. So we'll see.
Yeah. That's interesting. Yeah. I'm excited. Well, yeah, everyone make sure you comment, like, share those videos.
Share is the big one.
I'm not even promoting this. I'm
share
promoting yours.
Facebook channels. It'd be very helpful.
Is that the most advantageous to grow your channel? Just sharing?
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool. So I looked up some numbers. I don't know. I know you practice what you preach, stay in your lane, put your head down, work and perfect your craft.
Yes.
Don't listen to the noise. Yeah. How many active YouTube channels do you think there are?
Whoa. Well, active. So, like, what's the definition of that?
It was obscured. So I did a little bit of research. This number seemed to be a general consensus. Active. I don't know how they define it.
Okay, because active YouTube or active creator accounts, like that are actively posting videos.
Active YouTube channels, not accounts.
Channels. Okay.
Not accounts. So they have to have a channel.
Oh man, I'm gonna go with
because accounts is like 2 billion.
Right. Okay, that's what I was thinking.
Like literally a quarter of the world has a YouTube
actively posting videos, at least a quarter of those. No, a tenth. So let's just go with 200 million.
Yeah, no, you're a little high. 114 million.
That's not bad.
Active. I mean, yeah, it's quick math. That's good.
Yeah.
114 million active YouTube channels. How many do you think have reached the 100K mark and subscribers?
I'd say 1 million.
There was different answers. There were different answers. Yeah. So I gave a range because I looked up multiple sources.
Okay. Very smart.
300 to 360,000 channels have only reached the 100,000 subscriber mark.
Really?
So that is.
Oh yeah,
I got it. I got the math. No, I know you're a numbers guy. I got it all written down. That's a 0.2% chance.
Really?
Yeah,
That's pretty
so
cool, dude.
you should feel good about it, man.
It really depends.
I mean,
it hinges on what active means.
Right, but okay, there were other ones that said there was one that said like 50 million. So like, okay, whatever. So 0.4% chance or
That's
whatever,
cool.
right?
Yeah.
So congrats, man.
Thank you, man.
That's cool. That is really cool. Less than 1% of YouTube channels will ever do that.
Let's go.
So, what is there a goal? Like you want to get 500,000 in a year, or it's just kind of like
The numbers
roll
are
with it?
like the bottom line is like the media drives everything, right? It drives top line for everything in the business, all the businesses, and so it's just a big engine. The more we get in there, it's like the flywheel. So like you got that feeling.
Yes.
So I drew up like the flywheel of media of kind of like how that works from a financial perspective. And so, the more we can make on all these, like it'll just keep accelerating because I'm just kind of putting it all back in.
I think one of the most interesting points that you said, going back to your post, essentially saying like, this is the journey. This is how I got to 100,000 subscribers, and obviously thanking your team, your staff, the viewers. But one of the interesting points that you made was like, do it by yourself. Like, don't sell out. Essentially, that's my reductive version.
I just said warning of sponsors.
Warning of sponsors,
Yeah,
but my reductive version is don't sell out.
Yeah. Yeah, like we're in a different spot though, right? Like financially we don't need the sponsorship money. I would really understand if someone it was their business and like a big part of making money online is sponsorships. But like ultimately every time that you do a sponsorship, you're renting out your brand. And if you rent out something a whole lot, the value of it comes down. Right? So like if you have a whole bunch, like a real estate, a neighborhood, a whole bunch of homeowners, very different valuation than a neighborhood of renters. And the reason for that is because renters usually don't treat it as well. They misuse it. It brings down the price of that asset. And so if you look at your brand as an asset, and if you're allowing everyone just to rent it out, then the value of that goes down. And so there's a lot of intention behind it, and it's not easy to say no. Because I have offered like ludicrous amounts of money. It's like, dude, just a minute?
Yeah.
Like,
you've told me a couple numbers in the past.
It's nuts.
Yeah.
And so I understand why people do it, especially if like that's their primary thing. The bottom line is, in my opinion, like what we've done with the media team is building out products and service underneath that to drive attention to. You just get way more money if you just spend that 1 minute doing your own thing. But that's difficult to have that long term because like 3 years ago, I would be lucky to make $1,000 or $2,000 a month from all the media stuff. But like I just knew like the power of the brand was going to be so much more important.
Yeah. So did YouTube email you? When are you getting the plaque?
I know, right? I supposedly you get multiple, so I'd like to get a couple, give them to the guys.
That's cool.
I'll hang one at the office, stuff like that.
That'd be
really
fun. Cool. Yeah, no, Mr. Beast will drop it off. Did you see there was a clip of him with his like 100 million?
100 million, the
and someone was interviewing him. I don't know if it was Graham Stephan or it was some other YouTube personality. And they were like, "Did you see the note?" And he was like,
he didn't
"What
know
note?"
there was a note.
He didn't know that like the CEO of YouTube made a handwritten note for him. And he was like, "Oh, I just thought it was like a generic like thank you for using our platform type of thing."
That's funny.
He just doesn't care. Like he's so locked in.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's crazy. And then to get to 1 million viewers, it's like a 0.0000000 something percent chance. 1 million or not 1 million viewers. Sorry, 1 million subscribers to an active
So how
channel.
many active channels are above 1 million?
Oh well, let me see.
I would guess.
I didn't write
just
those numbers down. Yeah.
So you said 115,000 had. No, how many thousand?
115 million active YouTube channels.
Yeah, but how many had over 100,000?
300,000 to 360. That was
Okay.
kind of the range.
So I'm guessing then for 1 million would be like 20,000.
I think it's somewhere in there. It's like it's in there. It's tens of thousands.
Tens of thousands. Yeah, it's interesting, man. It's crazy.
I can edit this because I want to know.
There you go.
Okay, 1 million or more, 35,000 channels.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, and then 100,000 or more, it says around 350.
Cool. We'll get there.
Yeah, dude, that's gonna be sweet. 2 million or more, or no, sorry. Oh no. Okay, that's never mind. Who's the top? It's not Mr. Beast. It's someone else.
No, it's Mr. Beast.
Is it?
Yeah. Oh, well, it just depends. Like Taylor Swift's Vivo account, for example, I think has like a couple 100 million.
Well, there's like PewDiePie.
No, but PewDiePie is under him.
PewDiePie's under who?
He's He doesn't have as many subscribers as Mr. Beast.
Indian record label T-Series is the most subscribed channel. That's what I was going to say. Mr. Beast is number 2.
Oh.
There is something else that's more than him.
Oh, he has T-Series 246.
246 million.
Interesting. And then he's 176. I don't even know what T-Series is, to be honest with you.
It's an Indian record label, dude. How is that? That's nuts.
No idea, man.
Bollywood, dude.
Is that what it is?
I don't know. Are they on strike?
I don't know.
50 million. Okay, now we're in the rabbit hole. We got to do this. T-Series is number 1. Mr. Beast is 2. Coco Melon is number 3. It's like a kid's show.
Yeah.
You know what that is?
Yeah.
Creepy. Sony Entertainment India is number 4. Well, I guess, okay. This is just a very broad strokes observation.
Mm-hmm.
Is streaming as common in India, or is that their main source of entertainment?
Streaming and then music videos are kind of skews a lot of it.
Right.
Because music isn't like a super high value watch or listen.
Dude, I don't know like any of these. I know Mr. Beast and PewDiePie.
Dude, WWE is huge.
WWE is number 10.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Oh, 5 Minute Crafts. That's horrible.
Yeah, but they aren't doing it good anymore.
Oh, Justin Bieber 17.
Yeah.
Wow, dude. This is crazy. I don't know like any of these. Okay, Dude Perfect 27. I know that one.
Yeah, 60 million.
Are you recognizing any of these?
I know quite a few of them.
Okay.
But I also watch a lot of these type of videos.
Oh yeah.
Like when I'm like on the kick of figuring out what we're doing with the media, like these are the type
go and watch them. That makes
I don't
sense.
watch them. I watch people who analyze all like the stats and like how to improve and stuff like that.
All right, well, there you go. Congrats. 100K.
I'm in this juxtaposition now of like trying to learn more about media, software, and home services. That's where my world kind of evolves.
Interesting blend.
I know, dude. But that's really what it is. Like I'm listening to this one book right now, literally about like lean product and like Scrum, it's called, for software development. And then like at the same token, I need to figure out like media stuff. So like very much thinking about like how do you develop a media company, a media team, like distribution mechanisms, retention graphs, like all that garbage.
Yeah.
And then I also need to think about like, okay, like lawn care and like mowing grass. So it's interesting. It's just fun.
Yeah.
It's fun.
But the lawn care side of it, I feel like the basics is what more can you learn at that point?
Yeah, but it's a matter of looking at those as like first principles and then tying into especially technology and AI. But you still have to like stay on top of it.
Do you think Augusta, this is a tangent, will ever get to the point of too many resources?
Yeah, 100%.
Like it's almost overwhelming.
Yeah, no, 100% you will. Because like even at Anytime Fitness, for example, there are too many resources. I don't tap into half of them. I don't tap into a tenth of them probably.
So is that a bad thing?
I think they just need prioritization of resources. So like I think we do our best at Augusta to be like, hey, look, your number one priority is make sure you do a coaching call every single month. The second, like, listen to the masterminds. They'll take you 10 to 15, 20 minutes a day. You'll stay in track of everything that's happening. And you're not going to miss anything. You're getting all the latest and greatest right away. If you do those two things, you're probably going to get like 90% of the benefit of the quote-unquote resources, or at least making sure you don't miss out on anything. I really wish at Anytime Fitness they had something like that. We have a quarterly call that's recorded, but we don't ever have like, outside of like annual conference and quarterly video recording, we don't get any communication. And then like their coaching calls are, I've had now 10 new coaches in the past, no, not 9 new coaches in the past 3 years. Nice. And so like, I don't even know who my coach is now. Yeah. So it's pretty bad. I wish they did what we do. And that is like, you have options. You can choose who you want. So that way they can come and go, but then I get to choose like which coach fits my needs the best. Yeah. That's kind of what we do.
That makes sense. How do we combat that, having too many resources? It's because I'm just devil's advocate. It feels like a bad thing. Yeah. Right. You go into a library, you need to write a book report, right? Transport back to high school. And then there's a million books in the library. And you're like, I don't even know what to pick.
Yeah, but like Google solved that problem because you can search in terms of what book to go pick up. And so I think for us, like prioritization of the resources is the important part. Like it's the Google search. It's like, okay, I know that every day I need to watch the mastermind. I know that once a month I need to do coaching calls. If I can do that, I'll have read 90% of the books in the library, or at least pointed in the direction of where to go. And so all the other like, templates, and I know it starts to get like overwhelming with all of it, is you'd find out where to go look in the library if you just talk to a coach. They'd be like, oh, so on the dashboard, here's, the librarian.
Which, as a librarian, as a coach, it's challenging though. It's like, well, I know Mike said this one time in a mastermind, or was it on the public channel, or was it a document he uploaded to the dashboard? It gets to a point where, and I'm not even talking personally, but it's overwhelming. Yeah. There's so many resources.
Yeah. So it'll happen.
Categorization, I think, is important.
Yeah.
Our categorization is a website built by you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which isn't bad.
Yeah, we can improve it.
That can be invested in.
Yeah, the dashboard is actually a really tough thing to build.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Several different
only imagine.
It does like a bunch of different things for us now. So down the road we will improve the dashboard for sure.
We would need in the dashboard we have the academy, but we would need a separate URL that's academy.
Yeah, and I'd like it to be where you actually have to go in there to log in and watch the mastermind. You go to a specific URL, for example. But the problem with that is it becomes less accessible. Right now it's nice because you go in the Facebook group, you tap on a link, and boom, you're live.
Yeah.
So I want to make it accessible too, and that's where I think the Facebook group is. I think it'll eventually be where the Facebook groups get to a size where you have to do that because I can't see all the questions every day and things like that. But I still think we're probably a couple hundred locations away from having to think about that.
Yeah, fair enough. I have a question for you.
Okay.
Totally off the wall. I don't know if you read it in my notes.
Nope.
But I
didn't see your notes, dude.
I'm gonna come out and I'm just gonna shoot from the hip.
Okay.
Was the 30-day North Carolina challenge worth it?
Oh,
it's an open-ended question.
Yes, 100%.
You can defend it in any way, but I'm here to poke holes.
Yeah. Okay. I do think it was. I would say half of the benefit is from the franchisees. Well, the reason you're asking this is because you want to poke holes in it. So you poke holes in it, and then I'll give you.
No, I don't. No. I'm just saying I will probably want to poke holes.
Oh.
But I was just thinking about it. I was like, you spent 30 days in another state, away from your core team, your core businesses, whatever. Obviously now business is virtual, you can do it anywhere. But it was, you took one of your team members with you. You went to a state. You didn't know anybody. You were there for 30 days. Was it worth it? From a big picture perspective, small picture perspective, short term, long term, was it worth it?
It's definitely worth it. That's where I need to be spending my time on, and for two reasons. One, there's two things that are most important right now in terms of reaching the mission of Augusta, and that is number one, we have to scale location size. Mm-hmm. And so over the past year especially, we've been focused on how do we create the systems and the infrastructure to allow for that hockey stick growth. And so I think we're achieving that state now to where okay, if we got 100 locations that wanted to join tomorrow, we know what we would need to do to make that work. Mm-hmm. And so the media, although it is a time suck and it is a money suck, and that trip costed tens of thousands of dollars, and it's gonna cost a lot more because of an accident that happened.
Right.
Because of that, that is the best use of my time in terms of reaching the ultimate goal of having Augusta change the level of professionalism in the industry. It also feeds all the other businesses. Mm-hmm. And so media is the most important thing that I should be spending my time on right now. It also forced me to do that for a bit and pull me away from the office. So I saw where all the cracks, where they came when I wasn't in the office. Mm-hmm. But it also gave me the confidence. I could absolutely, if something crazy happened, I could move. Yeah. And everyone would do just fine. People would lead just fine. We grew and all the rest of it. So it stress tested the businesses without me being there. They all did fantastic. And then what little things that did come up is okay, I just need to patch those certain things. But the biggest point is I need proof that is recorded on tape for franchisees. And I need to be able to tell them when they leave training, watch these one day at a time and then watch the one that's behind the scenes that I did for the franchisees, where I break things down a little bit more. It's not it's fun and flashy to watch, but it's just, this is what's happening and the systems and here's what I'm thinking.
It's the grind.
Yeah. So, I needed that. I needed it to be more than just the 5-page document with the 5 stages of growth. That's what we consider the Bible. I needed to go live it, and I need stage 1 and 2. Because we have lots of evidence of stages 3, 4, and 5. A lot of people join when they are in stage 3, and Connor Stead, the likes of them that they joined, and then now they're the success stories of Augusta because they fixed it, added systems. Someone like Kevin Cohen joins, and now he's doing way more in revenue. Those are great stories, but they join in stage 3 or 4. And so I needed to go in from 0 and prove it. And show what it feels like in week 3 when you're like, man, I don't know if I'm going to make it. But then all of a sudden within a week and a half, you hit momentum. And that's what we just like, this elusive thing we talk about is real.
Yeah.
And so it was the most unscripted thing like that we've ever done. And like could have really set me up for failure. And the way that we shot it, it makes it very clear, like we could have failed and it would have been publicly shown. Yeah. And so the fact that it like worked out well and everything, like exactly how we talk about the systems was like, is a blessing minus a car crash. Yeah. But it was good. It was good. I think it was worth it.
Yeah. What percent did you do it for others and what percent did you do it for yourself? And by doing it for yourself, like to prove it to yourself. To have the ammo.
Very low, dude.
Okay. I'm just, hey.
I would say like less than 5% of that was like, I'm going to prove everyone. Like, that's how it was initiated. Like, a year and a half ago, I was like,
I know.
Everyone's saying I was like not a lawn care person or whatever. So I was like defending myself. Like, I'll show you. Like,
watch me spend all this money.
Yeah. But the thing is like, once you do it so many times, like with the locations and the franchisees, you're like, okay, like I'm not questioning whether or not this works, but I'm going to go do it so I can record it all. Because most of the locations that like even do the videos for the media team, they're established. They've had experience. Right. And it's a little different, and they're not seeing the day-to-day. They're seeing like little snippets of videos over the course of a couple months. Like Marcus' videos are great, but like he recorded that over the course of 3 months, and it's like here and there and snip and snap. Like you don't really get a linear storyline and the highs and the lows in sequence. So that's what I wanted to record. We got it, nailed it, super happy. And I think what's cool is it lives on for a long time, right? Like I think it like from a money standpoint, it is a lot of money, but you know, you sell several franchisees, and then more importantly, once they join, they have a much better roadmap. I would have paid someone personally to go do I would have given them like $200,000 to go do what I did. To like, hey, I want you to start a location, and I want you to get a couple employees by the end, and in 30 days, I want every single day recorded, and I want the videos. Like, I would pay someone $200,000 to do that. Yep. So, I think it was worth it.
Yeah. And just a real comment, quick comment, not to break the fourth wall for anyone, but yeah, Marcus's videos were like months old by the time they got out, exactly. And all the comments were like, "Man, hope your finger gets better soon." I'm like, "It's fine. It happened months ago. Yeah. You're fine, Marcus. Don't listen to anyone in the comment section."
They got all the video dumped, and then we spread it out over the course of like 5 more weeks. So his spring rush is like what he's showing, but it's like in the middle of August.
Yeah, because he like let me know like right away when it happened, and I was like, dude, anything I can do for you, like let me know. And I'm like waiting for the video to come out, waiting for the video. It's like 2 months later, video drops. I'm like, oh, here's the story. Okay, cool.
Yeah, that's gonna be the same way when it happens when we drop these turnaround videos, though. Yeah. Even because like you're gonna kind of know already what's happened to these locations and like whether or not they turned it around or not. Yeah. So it'd be nice to be able to record that part and get it on the video.
All right, I'm going to keep pushing on the North Carolina thing. Okay. Get back into it. Okay. Why wouldn't you just like, to use a political term, rally your base more? Like, why wouldn't you just invest in the people that already support you? Like, why not spend 30 days? You could have spent 1 day with 30 different franchisees and made them, rally to the cause even stronger, support you more, support the brand more, be disciples of the brand, if you will.
Ultimately,
like you could have done that instead of done 30 days just by yourself. Yeah. Reproving something.
Yeah. No, and like from a net positive for the franchisees, that would do better. Like me visiting a franchisee is obviously a huge lift in terms of like they're just emotional and like they want me to be there. And I like to be there too. But the thing is, ultimately you look at Augusta and our need to have 1,000 locations to achieve what we want. That is going to require people saying like you have to be out of your mind not to join. Like that is the benchmark for which we will grow. So when we can achieve that, that's when we'll grow really quick. And so the only way you get to that point is when you can confidently say, and like the proof of people talking is that literally no one fails. Mm-hmm. And so we always see failure within, not the first month, but getting to where I got, which is like a couple employees and things are rolling and you've got momentum. Like we see most of the failure in the people who fail in the first 2 stages of growth. They're making 100, 110, 120,000 revenue. They never get to like that second employee or the second or third truck. And so I needed to prove that, and that will dramatically increase our retention.
Yeah.
If they can just follow that roadmap and that blue book, that playbook. Like the people who join, they have like $300,000 or $400,000. Like as long as they follow the systems, like we know what happens. And typically they've beat their head against the wall long enough to know they need the systems and they're willing to embrace it. The people who don't are the people who've never done it and they're starting from zero and they go off in 100 different directions around the systems and trying to make up their own stuff and listening to other, harebrained ideas and playing with it for a year, and then they're just out of cash. They haven't hit momentum. They only have 30 or 40 customers, and I can solve that. And if we can figure out how to make it where like literally no one ever quits on Augusta because it is like everything is bulletproof, then we'll be able to sell cats and dogs out of these things. In terms of like franchises. That's why it's like I'm not really concerned about promoting Augusta and things like that. It's like, look, if we build a business model where like literally 99% of people are successful and 95% of them can grow past 500,000, and like it's just like cookie cutter, and it's literally rated like this is what you do every single day for the first 30 days. Like there'll be a time where it's like, okay, do we go out and film or do a check-in where it's like, okay, from 30 days to 365, like here's exactly what you do. Then it just becomes where it's like, why in the world would you not join? And so we haven't got there yet. And I think like with technology, as Augusta will get there when technology catches up to the point where like our software is at a certain spot that no one can touch. Command Center is in a spot where no one can touch. And then when robotics come along, we're like ready to embrace that and we can beat out everyone else's margins. But like we're a long ways away from that. We have a lot of work on all those fronts, software, Command Center, and then the technology side. So it's just a long game, but like I truly believe there'll become a time, I've said this to you guys a lot, like there'll be a year we'll just sell hundreds of these. Yeah. And I think that happens at the intersection of like all the preparation infrastructure we build around the software and AI, but then also Command Center, like making that like bulletproof. And then when robotics come along, we'll be the only ones like ready and able to take it, implement it, and have a backup like with Command Center and the AI that can control it. And then we win.
Yeah. that was the long version, but basically to summarize, you're saying the North Carolina, the 30 days, that's what we started on, is like point A.
It's where everyone fails.
You're showing them point A where everyone fails.
If we get them past 200,000 in annual revenue and having systems in place, and they're following the systems, and they're 200,000, like very, very few locations have failed. And actually, I mean like quit. Right. Yeah. A lot of times they'll have to, especially their second spring rush, reset team. They have to figure out leadership, that sort of thing. But to my knowledge, as I'm thinking about it, there's been no one that's gone like past 200,000. I'm trying to think now.
I think you're right.
I don't think anyone's gone past 200,000. Then we had to like close the location down.
I think you're right.
Yeah. So that's why it's so important, because if you ever got everyone past 200,000, like as like a bookkeeper, like it was like, it's going to happen no matter what, then you would basically you'd have 100%, like everyone would succeed. Because if you can get past 200,000, it's just a matter of time of figuring out leadership before they'll be at 500,000, and then just a matter of time of them being extremely profitable, and it's just a matter of time before they start investing in other industries, franchises, real estate, whatever, multiple locations. Like it just starts making sense. So like all of our failures are at 0 to 200,000. Like that's where all of my time should be focused on if we're trying to make a franchise that from the outside looks impenetrable.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I pulled it up, but
all of you, is these one that failed?
Yeah. Or closed. These are closed locations.
That was probably like 170. That was probably
that was verging. I was thinking that.
Yeah. If that one, hardly even started.
Yep.
Yeah, they're all under.
That one's back.
Yeah, they're back. They're back.
So nice they did it twice.
Oh man.
Yeah, no, you're totally right. That makes sense.
Yeah.
I do feel like it's just tough though for entrepreneurs, because it's just like we tell them the same thing over and over, but like now they have the proof that you did it, and it's like, yes, focus on your close ratio, sell, momentum will get there. So
and what I'm really happy about, because we didn't script it, so like
I know.
Well, I'm so happy that it wasn't easy. It was really, really hard from like an emotional standpoint, and like we didn't get traction right away, and we did it without spending a ton of money on marketing. It was like, okay, that didn't work. Like we got to go all in on grassroots. So like it was like the perfect script if we would have wrote the script minus the crash.
Minus the crash right at the
crash
end.
that is still haunting me. But.
Yeah, I love that. All right, well, we told the people we would do this.
Oh yeah.
But it feels a little old news at this point because we took a week off. That's on us, folks. But the Barbenheimer reviews.
I didn't watch Barbie. I watched Oppenheimer.
I went.
It was long, dude.
I went and watched Barbie. I did not watch Oppenheimer.
Oh,
it's
you
still on the
didn't?
list. It's still on the list.
Dude, it's long.
I haven't had time. I know it's long, so I have not had time.
This is one that you just probably wait until you can 2x speed it,
Yeah,
bro.
yeah.
But from a creative element, I thought it was good. I obviously enjoyed, like the history side of things. And, like, bringing Albert Einstein there's got to be cool. Love that. Love the recall of some of the things they did in there. The thing that I thought was interesting. Wait. Before I go off on Oppenheimer, you talk about Barbie.
I'm pulling up my notes. Wait, you want me to do like all my notes, or like a little back and forth?
Just give us the highlight. Give us the highlights, please.
Dude, you want to look at?
I'm so over Barbie.
I got a lot of notes.
We were in Idaho, Terrell and I, on this media thing, and we're walking away. We're in this like outdoor mall, right? Had dinner, walking through. All these girls come in like pink and heels, like, oh Lord have mercy.
It's fire.
But okay, so my main takeaways from Oppenheimer was how brilliant people typically do have something they really struggle with. So for him, like his downfall was he was a womanizer. And so like that really, if you actually dissect what kind of happened in several different instances, he had to like really what should I say, like compromise because he made bad decisions with women. Whether it be his wife and like cheating on her, and then like just like his whole perception and thought process, he could get distracted. So I just think it's interesting how like people at the highest level, they still have vices and things they have to deal with too. And it can be lead to their downfall.
Yeah. Interesting.
Okay,
that's it. That's what you got,
dude. I guarantee you, there's nothing better than that coming from Barbie, dude.
No, I agree,
dude. Your IQ probably sank 50 points.
No,
walking in the theater.
Here's
watching
the thing.
That.
Face value. Let's give you the face value. All right.
Okay.
It was fun.
Okay.
At face value, it's a fun movie. All right.
And then you watch Ben Shapiro. And you're just like down
Ben,
over there.
Chill out, Ben. Here's my honest takeaway, okay? Because, people, Ben Shapiro freaking out, and then you got people on the opposite side of the aisle from Ben that are like, yeah, praise women, they're the best, like, femininity, all good things, right?
Did you wear anything pink?
I did.
Oh, you took a picture?
I took a picture. Is
that going to be the thumbnail
I have
for
a pink, kind of orange-ish, it's pink.
It's peach,
shirt.
bro. That's such a peach
It's a fire shirt. It's a good shirt. Got it in Oregon. So here's the thing. Wherever you stand on the aisle, if you are like on the left side of the aisle and you're like, yes, let's push this like feminine agenda, like toxic masculinity means you're a male, right? It didn't do that well. It did not push the left agenda well. It didn't. It was disjointed. It relied on grotesque jokes, and it wasn't well put together of a political ideology. And if you're on the right and you're like, this is just saying how bad men are, you're just sensitive. Chill out, bro. It's a funny movie about guys. And it's a Ken doll. So if you're upset about it, like really chill out. So I think, and because it didn't do that well, it also didn't do the entertainment well. Like, the story was very boring. Like, it was a very boring story.
Really?
Like, it was fun because of the colors and the sound and the scenes, and, like, some jokes were okay. But it was, like, half trying to push a political agenda and then half telling a story, and both of them flopped, in my opinion. I would have rather been a crazy leftist film. At least it would have been entertaining. Or take all the politics out of it and just make it entertaining and just make it fun. That's kind of my takeaway.
So what you're saying is this is a binary decision. You cannot have a leftist entertaining story movie.
No, that's not true at all, though. That's it's a good point. That's a good pushback. I disagree with that.
You just feel it takes away from the story when they have a political agenda.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay.
I think movies are escapism for most of us. We want to be entertained. Entertain us.
Well, it definitely explains. Mine was 3 hours. It was too long.
Yeah. I'm trying to think. I do have a lot of notes here, but
Did you take notes during the movie?
Yeah. So it's tons of typos.
Did your wife hate you?
No, I brightness all the way down, dark mode, coming on Copilot now, dark mode. I was typing it in Copilot. But here's the thing. Okay, Ruth. I don't know if this is a character. So Barbie comes to the real world, right? She meets Ruth. Ruth is the creator of Barbie. I don't know if this is like the real creator or just an actress. Okay. She takes Barbie on a walk. They're in these are my exact notes, all right? They are in an existential space outside of time and reality. Ruth tells Barbie that all humans die, but ideas like Barbie live forever. Okay. Note the lighting in the scene. Ruth and Barbie are circled by fading light between pale lifelessness and vibrant pink life, blood pumping into your body. Honestly, great scene. Barbie's left standing by herself. Ruth fades away.
You're reading into every part of this movie.
Ruth fades away. Interesting finish to that scene. So, like, I think it was kind of cool because they're like, okay, so what was the idea of Barbie? Ruth was like, it is about like women's empowerment and making a cool toy for girls and not making baby dolls because that's all girls had. And so I'm like, that is women's empowerment. Like, you can be whatever you want to be. It doesn't mean you have to like reduce men to something less.
Right.
Like, I don't know. That was the most powerful scene, I think, to me. Whether it was a real creator or an actress, I was like, that's the story of Barbie. Yeah. Like, she wanted to make an icon for women, and then like the whole story of Barbie is like, well, Barbie's fake, and like it's unachievable as a woman. It's hard to be a woman, and Barbie sucks, and like toxic masculinity. I'm like, it doesn't make sense. It didn't add up. Yeah. That's all I'm saying. Okay. But I didn't hate it.
I won't be watching it. So thank you for that diagnostic.
Yeah, you're welcome. Like, honestly, I didn't hate it. I thought it was fun. Okay. I just feel like they missed the mark. If they were going for an agenda, they missed the mark.
See, I probably missed a lot of stuff on Oppenheimer because I'm not like a movie person. So like, I don't know the actors. I don't get a lot of stuff when it comes to movies. So like the most movies I ever watched was an elective I needed in college just to finish out my degree. And they're like, dude, you can take this one class. It was like super hard for writing. And it was like, or you can take this theater class and you just like watch movies and write reports. So like movies from like the 30s and the 40s and the 50s and like diagnosing things.
Casablanca.
But like nowadays, like I don't know any of the actors or anything like that.
Yeah, I did that too. I took a writing. It was like an English credit, but it was a film class.
Let's go, dude.
It was actually, this was one of my coolest moments in college. I was, because college is when you peak. But it was the professor made us go around and say what our favorite movie is, or like right now, like what's your favorite movie? And I said the movie, and like that's like the finals on that movie, and I was like, well, just give me an A now. Like if my taste in movies is that good for this class, like just give me the A now. I don't even need to sit through this. So
that's hilarious.
Yeah. So cool. Yeah, Barbenheimer. There you go. Yeah. There's our honest reviews. All right, now financial advice.
Yeah, dude, you got some? It up?
I do.
Okay, go for it.
I do. So I went out of town to a friend's wedding. Yeah. Eastern Ohio. Yeah. If any of our listeners are in Eastern Ohio, I just want to let you know, anytime I told someone I'm going to a wedding, they're like, oh, where are you going? I said, Eastern Ohio. They were like, oh. So that's the reaction to Eastern Ohio, at least from people I interact with. So this is a cool thing that my wife and I just decided. I'm making it a rule now. This isn't like official. But we were like, okay, if we're going somewhere for a weekend, we have to get a rental car. What's like a reasonable distance to drive, right? You go for the wedding, well, that's only a few hours, right? So like, what else are we gonna do? So if I came up with like a personal rule now, if we get a rental car, 3 hours. If something cool is within 3 hours, you just go see it. You just do it because you have the rental car. Most of them come with unlimited miles. You get a hybrid. It's got great gas mileage. So we went to Niagara Falls.
Not financial.
So that's my not financial advice. If you get a rental car, 3 hour rule. If something very cool is within 3 hours, just go do it. Okay. You got one life.
All right, my not financial advice is I don't know if people are gonna be able to see this. This is the new band that I'm wearing right here.
Oh, all right.
This is the new version because I had my other one for 3 years, and it used to be $36, but we got inflation, so it's $48.
Oh man, brutal.
But the Xiaomi Xiaomi Smart Band 7, it now offers many more capabilities. It tracks your O2 levels.
Okay.
It has a much better notifications.
Yeah.
So it's now like my calendar. I've synced up with it. So it's pretty good. So I definitely would highly recommend it for all that you get. The sleeping, the best thing, alarm clock on your wrist vibrating, on point.
No tone.
No
sound. Just a more natural wake up.
Very nice.
Oh, I like
and then
that.
It has the whole thing where like it tracks your sleep patterns. So like it'll wake you up within a period of time, which is best for like what optimal wake up time or wake up during your sleep cycle is. So yeah, it's very nice. And what's further better for someone like yourself is if you're sleeping with someone, they don't have to wake up. Like you just you get a buzz in your wrist.
That makes sense.
So, but no, definitely highlight is just better O2 tracking of blood, better sleep tracking. It's great.
O2 tracking. Explain it to me like I'm a 5th grader.
In your blood,
well,
your blood transports oxygen throughout your body.
Obviously.
Tracking that is an important thing, especially if you are doing cardiorespiratory exercise or if you're older and struggle with like lung stuff. It was a big deal like around COVID. In terms of like seeing what your O2 levels were, and everyone was like, oh, 92 or below, you should go to the hospital and all the rest of it. It's a good thing to track.
Good thing to track. All right. Well, that's the pod.
That's the pod.
Like and subscribe.